Have you ever looked at your dog, tail wagging, eyes bright, and thought, you're the happiest creature alive? And yet, in the quiet of the evening, they suddenly freeze, or hide under the table, or start shaking without a sound. You wonder if it's the thunderstorm or the fireworks. But sometimes it's not that loud. Sometimes the fear is silent, unspoken, and it's breaking their heart a little more each day. You see, dogs don't always bark or whine when they're scared. Sometimes they just withdraw. They stop eating. They avoid your hand. They cling to your side and follow you from room to room, not because they're needy, but because the world feels unsafe. And here's the part that stings. Often, what scares them most is something we do, without even knowing it. This video isn't just about fireworks or vet visits. It's about the quiet heartbreaks, the fears that go unnoticed, the moments we miss because we don't speak their language, not fluently at least. But what if we could learn? What if we could understand the 7 most overlooked fears our dogs carry and help them finally feel safe again? Stay with me, because number 7 is the one no dog lover should ever ignore. In fact, for many people, especially those of us who've had a loyal dog by our side for years, it's the one that hurts the most to hear. But it's also the one that, if we understand it, can heal so much. Let's begin. To us, a thunderstorm might feel cozy, the perfect time for a warm cup of tea and a quiet evening. But to your dog, that same storm can feel like a war zone. One sudden crack of thunder isn't just startling, it can feel like an explosion inside their head. You see, a dog's hearing is far more sensitive than ours. While we hear the rumble in the distance, they feel it in their chest. A single firework burst for them is like standing next to a cannon. It's not about them being dramatic. It's about survival. Their body goes into full panic mode, trembling, hiding, sometimes even urinating. Not because they're misbehaving, but because their brain is screaming, "Run!" A study from today's veterinary practice found that dogs exposed to thunderstorm recordings had a 207% increase in salivary cortisol. That's the stress hormone. Imagine your heart racing for hours, and you don't even know why. That's what some dogs live through, every time the clouds roll in. And it's not just fireworks on the 4th of July. Some dogs fear motorcycles, car alarms, even distant construction noise. What's worse, these sounds come without warning. No way to prepare. No way to understand. But here's the good news. You can help. When you know a storm is coming, create a safe space, somewhere quiet, dark, familiar. Use soft blankets, your scent, and if possible, some background music to muffle the noise. Sit with them. No need to speak much. Just your hand, steady and calm, resting gently on their back, can say, "You're not alone." For long-term support, some people try counter-conditioning, pairing the scary sound with something positive, like a favorite treat or playtime. It won't work overnight, but over time, it tells your dog, this sound doesn't mean danger anymore. Because in your dog's world, your presence is safety. Your calm becomes their calm. And sometimes, just sitting beside them in the storm is the most powerful thing you can do. To us, it's just cleaning day. You grab the vacuum, plug it in, and go about your business. But the moment that switch flips, your dog bolts, hiding under the couch, barking wildly, or even attacking the machine like it's a threat. And to them, it is. That roar, those sudden movements, the vibration in the floor, it all feels like a predator has entered their territory. What seems ordinary to us is chaos to them. Think about it. If someone dragged a huge, noisy beast across your living room, one that howled and growled with no warning, wouldn't you be on edge too? According to veterinary behavior specialists, between 17% and nearly half of all dogs show significant fear responses to loud household appliances, not just because of the sound, but because they don't understand what it is. Unlike thunder, which comes from the sky, this beast comes from you. It moves when you move. It chases them. It doesn't make sense. But here's something comforting. This fear can be gently unwound. Start small. Don't force them into the room with it running. Instead, try turning the vacuum on in a distant room while your dog relaxes. Pair that moment with a treat. Praise them softly. Next time, move the sound a little closer. Let them approach it at their own pace, never yours. The goal isn't to make them love the vacuum. It's to teach them that it won't hurt them, and more importantly, that you're still in control. That even when the monster growls, you're still calm, and they're still safe. Over time, that growling beast becomes just another background noise. And your dog, the one who once ran at the sound, might just lie nearby instead. Because you taught them, little by little, that there's nothing to fear, not when you're there. Not every dog wants to be the life of the party. While some might leap toward a new face, tail wagging and eyes wide, others freeze. Some pull away. Some growl under their breath. Not because they're aggressive, but because they're overwhelmed. To a dog, a strange dog or a stranger walking toward them isn't a chance to make a friend. It's a question mark. Is this safe? Is this a threat? Dogs rely heavily on scent and subtle body language. When someone unfamiliar approaches, especially quickly or loudly, it feels like stepping into unknown territory. And that's frightening. Crowds make it worse. So many feet. So many voices. So many smells, all at once. Your dog can't filter it out. Instead, they cling to what they trust most. You. They may press against your leg, stare into your eyes, or try to retreat behind you. It's not bad behavior. It's survival instinct. And here's the mistake many well-meaning dog lovers make. They push too fast. They tug the leash forward. They say, "Come on, he's nice. Just say hi." But for your dog, every forced sniff is a test of courage they didn't choose to take. What helps? Choice, space, time. Let them approach when they're ready. If they don't want to, that's okay. Walk in a wider arc. Avoid close contact in crowded places. Speak softly. Watch for signs. A tucked tail, pinned ears, lip licking. Those are whispers of discomfort. Because sometimes, love looks like stepping away. Giving your dog the freedom to say, "Not right now." And when they know you'll listen, that you will protect their boundaries, something beautiful happens. They begin to trust the world just a little more. It starts before you even reach the parking lot. Maybe it's the sight of the leash being grabbed at an unusual time, or the car ride that doesn't lead to the park. Maybe it's the scent, that unmistakable mix of antiseptic and fear that hits the moment the clinic door swings open. To us, a vet visit is routine, maybe inconvenient, maybe a bit pricey. But to your dog, it can feel like betrayal, a place where they've been poked, restrained, handled by strangers in scrubs, where nothing smells like home and nothing feels safe. The fear isn't always loud. Some dogs whimper or shake. Others freeze entirely. You might notice your dog resists getting out of the car or tucks their tail so tightly it disappears. That's not defiance. That's anxiety. That's memory. One viewer shared how their 16-year-old dog still panics at the vet, even after years of love. And it's not uncommon, especially for older dogs or those with past trauma. The clinic isn't just a building. It's a trigger, one that says, pain lives here. But here's what can help. Break the association. Bring your dog to the clinic when nothing's scheduled. Just a short visit. Let them walk in, sniff around, get a treat from the receptionist, then leave. No shots, no exams, just a moment of peace in a place they fear. At home, stay calm. Your energy matters. Don't over-reassure or fuss. Just be steady. Use a low, soft voice. I'm right here. You're okay. Even if they don't understand the words, they'll feel the meaning. Because what your dog needs most during those scary moments isn't a cure. It's a promise that no matter what happens, you won't leave their side. This one's not easy to hear, but sometimes the scariest thing in a dog's world is us. Not because we mean to hurt them, not because we raise a hand. Sometimes it's just the tone. A sharp voice, a slammed door, a glare that lingers a second too long. To us, it's frustration. To them, it's thunder. Dogs don't speak English, but they read us. Every gesture, every breath, every flicker of emotion. When your voice rises, their body tightens. When your shoulders drop in anger, they notice. And if they've been hurt in the past, by a stranger, by a shelter, or even unknowingly by us, they carry that history in their bones. One longtime dog owner said it best. They mirror your fears. And that's true. Your calm teaches calm. Your panic teaches panic. You are their weather, their compass, their safe zone, or their warning sign. So when they flinch at your hand, don't take it personally. Take it seriously, because to them, your hand should be the safest place in the world. Here's how we rebuild trust. Slow down. Speak softly. If they make a mistake, correct with clarity, not with volume. Praise what you want more of. Ignore what doesn't matter. And above all, be consistent. Dogs don't need perfection. They need predictability. There's a reason rescue dogs take time to settle. They're waiting to see who you really are. And for dogs who've always been loved, a single bad moment can still leave a mark. But here's the beautiful part. Kindness heals. Over time, even the most cautious dog can learn to trust again. Not because we forced them to, but because we gave them no reason to fear. So the next time your dog hesitates before approaching, pause. Ask yourself, what is my body saying right now? Because they're listening, and they want nothing more than to believe you are, and will always be, safe. Dogs don't wear watches. They don't check calendars, but they know time in their own way. They know when breakfast usually comes, when the leash jangles before the afternoon walk, when the sound of your car means you're home. Routine isn't just habit for them, it's safety, predictability. It's how they make sense of a world filled with things they can't control. So when something changes, even something small, it can leave them feeling unsure, even afraid. You move their bed. A favorite toy goes missing. You start coming home an hour later. To you, it might not mean much. But to your dog, it's like the floor has shifted. Behavioral researchers have long observed that even minor disruptions in a dog's environment can lead to stress. Barking at night, refusing food, pacing, whining. These aren't acts of rebellion. They're signals, a way of saying, I'm not sure what's happening anymore. So how do we help? Not by freezing life in place. Change is inevitable, but by keeping a few anchors steady. Bring familiar items when you move. Stick to feeding and walk times when possible. If you rearrange furniture, leave one cozy spot untouched. A blanket, a bed, a favorite corner. A small piece of home. And maybe most important of all, let them see you act the same. Your calm, your voice, your rhythm. Those are the constants they crave most. Because in a world that shifts and spins and surprises them daily, just knowing that some things stay the same, especially you, can be all it takes to help them breathe easy again. This is the one that hurts the most. The fear that lives quietly in the corners of their heart, the fear that when you leave, you might not come back. Some dogs wait by the door in silence. Others cry, pace, destroy furniture, not out of spite or mischief, but heartbreak. It's not just about missing you. It's the panic of abandonment. The kind that whispers, "Did I do something wrong? Are you gone for good?" And for many dogs, especially those who've experienced loss before, a shelter stay, a rehoming, or even the death of a companion, that fear runs deep. One viewer said, "When I leave for even an hour, my dog sits at the door with her toy and won't move." Another shared that going overseas broke their heart more for leaving their dog than for the trip itself. Here's what science says. Separation-related behaviors, or SRB, affect about 14% to 20% of dogs. And during the COVID-19 lockdowns, when routines changed drastically, new cases of SRB actually developed in nearly 10% of previously unaffected dogs. It's not rare. It's not just a phase. It's real anxiety. But there is hope, and it begins with reassurance, not punishment. Start small. Create a goodbye routine that feels calm, not rushed. Leave behind something with your scent, a worn t-shirt, a favorite blanket. Make their space feel safe. A crate, soft music, natural light. And most importantly, make your return peaceful. Don't burst in with excitement or guilt. Come back as if nothing changed. Show them that you always return, and it's never something to fear. Some people find success using calming pheromones or practicing short absences and gradually increasing them. Others adopt a second dog, not for themselves, but to soften the silence for the one left behind. But whatever you choose, let it be rooted in empathy. Because to your dog, you are their entire world. Their sense of time, space, and home all revolve around your presence. And when you're gone, even just for a while, they're not counting minutes, they're counting heartbeats. So if you've ever seen your dog tremble when you grab your keys or heard them howl the moment the door closes behind you, know this: they're not being dramatic. They're simply afraid that the best part of their world might never come back. And when you show them over and over that you always do, that's when healing begins. Now that you've heard them, the fears they carry in silence, I want to leave you with one question. Just one. The kind that stays with you long after the screen goes dark. What is my dog trying to tell me? Not with words, but with the way they look at you when you reach for your keys, the way they flinch when a storm rolls in, the way they follow you from room to room, as if being near you is the only safe place they know. Because here's the truth: they can't speak, but they are always communicating. Every tremble, every sigh, every moment of stillness is a message. And it says, "I trust you. I need you. I just want to feel safe." And you, more than toys, more than treats, you are their world. So tell me in the comments, which fear surprised you the most? What moment hit closest to home? And what will you do differently, starting today? If this video opened your heart even just a little, don't let it end here. Share it with someone who loves their dog the way you do. And if you're ready to keep discovering just how deep the bond between us and our dogs really goes, click here for our next video. It just might change the way you look at them forever.